I don't want you to see up my shorts, so I'm just gonna sit like this so it isn't weird. I have this list of the 25 golden rules of running. It's from runnersworld.com. The 25 most universally accepted rules of running by Bob Cooper. Now, I don't know if this one shows up on there. Don't look, but don't untie your shoes. You just slip them on, slip them off, you get running much faster. Let's do this. Oh, here's my first rule. Sorry, second rule. Anything can be a hurdle. This is not going to be for the faint of heart, so don't watch if you have any type of medical conditions. Right over it. Number 1, the specificity rule. The most effective training mimics the event for which you're training. The event I'm training for is a Netflix binge. Feel the burn. Yes, I want to keep watching. Rule number 2 is the 10% rule. Increase weekly training mileage by no more than 10% per week. That is a little different from my 10% rule, which is to never try harder than 10%, but I think they capture the same thing. Rule number 3, the 2-hour rule. Wait for about 2 hours after a meal before running. Admittedly, that would have been better news to have known 20 minutes and 2 burgers ago, but we'll see what happens. Hey, bunny. This is what's known as a bunny break. All runners take them. If you see a bunny, you have to go greet the bunny. Hey, bunny. No, I don't think. Okay. Specious. Rule number 4, the 10-minute rule. Start every run with 10 minutes of walking and slow running. What? Why wasn't this rule number 1? I missed my walking window. Okay, I'm gonna be miserable the rest of the run. It's about the start of the run. Why wouldn't they put it as the first rule you read? I could have walked for 10 minutes. All right, rule number 5, the 2-day rule. Oh my, if I could have walked for 2 days, I'm gonna be so mad. If something hurts for 2 straight days while running, take 2 days off. I want to tell you all a little story. When I was in grade school, there was this girl that I liked, and she was putting together the yearbook. She had all the pictures out. She was placing them in their proper spots. And then I saw she picked up a picture of me and her together, and I was like, that's awesome. That memory is going to be solidified forever in this book of the year. And I was across the room, so she had no idea I saw this, but that picture ended up in the trash can. Yeah, that hurt for 2 days straight, so I'm using my rollover pain for some rest now. We'll get back to this in a minute. Number 6, the familiar food rule. Don't eat or drink anything new before or during a race or hard workout. That's a good one to remember. Don't eat or drink anything new. If it's expired, go for it. If it's like been sitting in the fridge for a couple of days, I think that's okay. What is this? Is that a crumpled up bottle of Dasani water? That's fair game. The race recovery rule. For each mile that you race, allow 1 day of recovery before returning to hard training or racing. See, now this one gets me at a bit of a dilemma, because on the one hand, I love increasing those recovery days. On the other hand, I'm not a fan of running. The more I run, the more I get to rest. But the more I want to rest, the more I have to run. I mean, I get that other people have problems. It's just I don't think they realize that mine are much worse than theirs. The heads beats tails rule. A headwind always slows you down more than a tailwind speeds you up. So expect to run slower on windy days. Oh, Bobby. Bobby. I expect to run slower every day. Wind is not a factor at all. The conversation rule. You should be able to talk in complete sentences while running. Suddenly, I don't feel like the stupid one anymore. I run with the camera so that I can talk in complete sentences. Why aren't you running with one? All right, for rule number 10, we have a special guest who's gonna read it for us. All right, just number 10 there, right up top. Okay. All right, he's shy. Number 10, the 20-mile rule. Run at least one 20-miler before a marathon. Knowing that you can run 20 miles helps you to wrap your head around running 26.2. And if you can wrap your head around something, then there's really no point in doing it, because if you believe you can do it, then why even try? Number 11, the Carbs Rule. For a few days before a long race, emphasize carbohydrates in your diet. I had an apple in the morning, a steak for lunch, and for dinner I had some pasta. Notice how I emphasized the carbohydrates in my diet. I feel like I'm running faster already. Rule number 12, the 7-year rule. Runners improve for about 7 years. The exception, low mileage runners can stretch the 7 years to well over a decade before plateauing, which means that I have a very long way before I hit that plateau. Okay, so we are just under halfway through this list, but I am all the way done my run. So we can pick this up at some other time. Should probably pick that up too, because it's my camera, and if I just left it there, I'd be an idiot, which, you know,